What's good, Raider Nation? What's going down? Raider Dave, man, back in the groove. The day off on the weekend. I hope you're all doing well. Cheers on a Saturday, man. We're also going to drop a game prediction, man, before the game tomorrow. So, like, by 8 a.m. tomorrow, game prediction. Going to get that going and, be quick, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever that is. Just real quick, you know what I'm saying? So, hope you're all doing well. It's been a minute. See what's going down. Waiting for this room to fill up. What up, Freddie? What's good, buddy? How we doing, man? Hope you're doing well today, man. It's a little warm outside, but it's feeling good. I'm feeling good. What's up, Divine? How we doing? Shout out to you guys, man, in the chat. What up? I'm excited, man. Tomorrow's a big game, man. It's a big game, man. We could be 3-0. That's a huge deal. Man, it almost like, I was kind of talking about the podcast yesterday. It was a little bit about, like I felt like we could have been 3-0. Remember, we were 0-3 in 2018, man. All that negativity and all that going into that season and so many close games. It was like the game was well scripted against the Rams. That was looking good, man, in the first half, and they got away from him in the second half. At Denver, man, in week 2, Keith Smith drops a key pass, and next thing you know, man, Bruce Irvin gives up. We lose that game, go 0-2. Then we had that Dolphins game, man, where they're in a shootout to a certain degree. Carr's airing it out. We lose that game 0-3. Completely different in 2020. Gruden has a team that wants to play for him. That clip from the locker room, man, I know some were like, oh, man, it's like Pop Warner drills they were doing in there. But you know what? The key to that moment was that this team is bought in to what Gruden and Mark Davis, and now they've brought Mike Mayock aboard. Man, this thing has come together. So tomorrow, man, tomorrow's going to be no joke, man. Tomorrow's going to be no joke. Cam Newton's throwing the football. There's only, I believe, only 2 quarterbacks right now in the league that are throwing 70%, completing 70% of their passes, and that's Cam Newton and Derek Carr. So this is going to be a good game, man. You got Josh Jacobs. He's racked up 3 touchdowns in the past 2 games. Of course, in the first game, he got his 3 touchdowns, but Cam Newton's rushing for 4 touchdowns already this year. So there's so many different matchups in this game. This game could go, I predict kind of like a 27, 24 type game. I mean, if they get above 30 points again, that's huge for this offense. So Jesse Rosales, man, cheers, brother. Saturday, man. Hope you guys are having a great day. It's been one hell of a summer, man, a busy summer. And then now football season's back. It feels like life has come back together, man, with football, man, and just getting that excitement back. And of course, missing going to games and all that stuff. So, yes, let me put Freddie B's comment up here. This is a big test for Carr tomorrow, man. And it would even be a bigger test. I'm not sure if New England's allowing fans. That's one thing I did not check. I know some teams are allowing some fans. So, fan element is, plays a role in these games, man. The game of professional football, just in professional sports in general, man. I've been watching the MLB playoffs. I watched that Dodgers-Angels game last night. And, fan element, man, is a big deal for me. I believe when fans are in the stands, there's a different type of pressure. It's that human element that is involved in the game, where it gets you thinking. And, but yes, this is going to be a big test for Derek Carr, a big test. And, every game in the NFL is going to be a test, but, you got the coaching. This is where I think coaching is going to be a big test as well. You're going to have that chess match, the continued chess match from 2001, because Bill Belichick and John Gruden in 2001, the way they matched up in that 2001 game that did not go our way, where we were robbed of the tuck rule. And I'll get into the tuck rule a little bit, man, because that game, I lost tons of sleep that week, and I'll get into that. But yes, like getting into that matchup between Bill Belichick and John Gruden and what they're going to bring to the table. I think fullbacks. I talked about Alec Ingold yesterday. We also got what's his name, Rex Burkhead. The other fullback, man, and he fumbled. I believe he fumbled in the last time we played when we had Jack Del Rio. But yes, just like Easy Raider, man, you got me fired up with your comment yesterday, man, because. I'm dude. Hey, let's get into that tuck rule, man. Let's get into that. Easy Raider, you really actually sparked my enthusiasm, man, for this game, because yes, I did want. I wish Brady was quarterback for tomorrow, because Cam Newton's a bigger threat, I think, right now, the way Cam Newton's playing, and he's dangerous, you know. And I think that's a key point, John Q. Abram getting after the quarterback is huge. But as far as that game, man, I'm the same age as you, Easy. I'm going to be 42 in a month here. And, man, that night, you know, my uncle, he's from Philly. He's a Philly fan. And he called me that night while they were reviewing that call. And I knew that they were not going to give us the call. I knew they were going to find a rule in the playbook or in the rule book to screw us over in that game. I just felt it coming. You knew it was coming, actually, because the Raiders should have been at home in those playoffs anyway, because they got screwed against Denver. They scratched that 70-yard touchdown to Jerry Rice. If you ever remember in Denver, they had that tripping call, that ghost tripping call against John Mobley. They called it against Steve Wisniewski. He was just in his stance, and John Mobley flew after Gannon. But Gannon got the ball off, dude, and Gannon got the ball for 70 yards to like a 37-year-old or 36-year-old Jerry Rice at the time. And Jerry Rice was gone in Denver, in freaking elevation, a mile above sea level. He got to the end zone. He streaked to the end zone for 70 yards, and they called that back. I almost got kicked out of a bar that day for that call, because that call was bullshit. And then you had the other, I think it was like a missed extra point or a missed field goal by Sebastian Janikowski against the Jets later on. And then we got that one wild card game against the Jets. And then we're off to New England, and the Raiders are playing great. James Jett, the only touchdown of the game. And Woodson on that blitz. And I talked about that. I think, John Q, if you're listening, man, still there. Dude, on that blitz, I was saying, hey, I think I put it in the comment, like, hey, you know what? This time it won't be C-Dub coming after the quarterback on a dialed up blitz. It's going to be Jonathan Abram. If Jonathan Abram gets a clean shot on a quarterback, it's over. So, so there will be another fumble, and hopefully they rule it a fumble. But at the same time, yes, man, that game 2001 in January, man, that game, dude, I lost I think 2 nights of solid sleep, man. I lost all sleep that Saturday night. It was a Saturday night game. Into the next morning, I was calling local radio stations all throughout San Diego, calling up the radio stations, pissed off. I lived in the San Diego County at that time. And dude, like I'm telling you, man, I was calling radio stations. They're like, and there was speculation whether Woodson might have face masked Brady. And I was like, get that out of your mind. There was no face mask. Woodson had him by the back of the shoulder pads, slapped the ball out, ball's roaming free. Greg Beaker jumps on it, and a Raiders win. And that's the thing about momentum and fan element, all that stuff, man, all that commotion that's going on the field, the Raiders celebrating on the sideline. And of course they know the bad calls coming, man, because there was bad calls leading up to that game. But that game, man, yeah, it eats at me. And one thing I wanted to do, I mean, I got, luckily I got family coming over today. I'm going to party hard today, man. So I'm going to make sure I sleep tonight. I get fired up, dude. I get so fired up that I will lose sleep. And I will be thinking about this game all the way until 10 a.m. So that's why I kind of occupied my schedule up a little bit. Got family coming over, gonna fire up the grill, man. We got a lot of these stone brews. We're gonna numb up a little bit today. I got some tequila. I'm gonna get a little numb today, but I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm gonna crash out hard tonight. I'm gonna wake up, man, and we're gonna do a game prediction going into this game, man. We're gonna get all the good details going into this game and get fired up, man. And but yes, let's get into some comments here, man. And shout out to you guys, man. John Q, I agree. Mean, what's up, brother, man? It's good to see you as well, man. It's great to be back, man. It was a real busy summer for me. I kind of had to rebuild, getting income back into order and all that, because the 7-week stay, man, we were crushing podcasts back in April, and the draft was so much fun, man. But looking back, man, I really wish we were able to go to the draft. Looking back, I really wish that we had fans in the stands for the New Orleans Monday night game, man. I wish we were there, man, to just tailgate and just get this on and popping, man. And but yes, man, I'm yeah, nice, John Q. Hell yeah, man. And so yeah, man, like getting into tomorrow's game, man. I mean, I just think there's so many good matchups going into this game, aside from the revenge on the Tuck rule and going back to New England with John Gruden this time, and going into this game, man, the quarterback matchups, I think, when it comes to Cam and Carr, they're very similar in statistics, aside from the rushing statistics. So maybe Carr uses his legs a little bit more in this game. I mean, they're going to be without Henry Ruggs, rightfully so. I mean, if he's not full strength, let him sit. I think Henry Ruggs in the future is going to be a huge asset we've already seen it in 2 games, what Henry Ruggs does on the field. He's getting separation. The Carolina game I really was impressed. There was a route, I'd have to pull up the clip, but there was a route, man, where he had about 8 yards separation on his man, and there was nobody near him. I mean, so they are accounting defenses so far. Carolina and New Orleans have accounted for Henry Ruggs, and I believe he has drawn 3 pass interference calls. Of course, the key one being on Monday night where he got completely hooked on that route and drew the rightfully called penalty. So the one thing is, I did look up penalties, man. I believe the Raiders are we're still kind of up there in penalties, amazingly enough. We're not seeing a Raider penalized team and screwed over penalties like we've seen in the past. I think that's going to change. I think just the fact that the brand is in Las Vegas, I think that kind of helps us out a little bit. I'm noticing that already in 2 games. That's kind of what I thought going into, as the transition was going to take place. I mean, our 3rd city here in my lifetime, man. I grew up on the Los Angeles Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, and now the Las Vegas Raiders, man. And, we did the Coliseum, the LA Coliseum, the Oakland Coliseum. And, man, I can't wait to get to Allegiant. But at the same time, leading up to this, I think now we're in a situation where we're going to get, I'm not going to say we're going to get calls, but we're not going to get these blown calls, these absurd calls where you're, as a Raider fan, you're scratching your head and you're going, man, wow, the league's out to get us. I mean, I think they'll always be out to get us. We're going to know tomorrow, man, that the Patriots. One thing where I think this is where Freddie B, you're right. This is going to be a big test for Derek Carr, is the Patriots defense does lead the league in turnovers so far in 2 games. I believe they have four turnovers. So got to protect the ball. We got lucky there in the red zone against New Orleans, man, with the fumbled snap. We got very lucky there with Alec Ingold jumping on that thing. But yeah, I think fullback play, it's going to be a key matchup. You got I think Belichick's going to use his fullback as well. They're going to be without what's his name? Last name? Why am I forgetting his name? I always pick him up sometimes in fantasy. White. They got White. He's out. And then they got so therefore, and Josh Jacobs, I know he's got that lingering hip injury. It kind of sprung up on the injury report, but you did see him get off the field a little ginger though the other day. So that's why. And let's get into that. I'm going to get into a question here, but yeah, fullback matchup, quarterback matchup. Edelman, they got to account for him. Trayvon Mullen, though, I'm confident in Trayvon Mullen. I like what I see. Damon Arnett, he's scrappy, but that's okay because young corners are going to get picked on in this league. We talked about that yesterday. And then the matchup between, their kicker's pretty accurate so far. I think he only kicked 1 field goal, but Daniel Carlson, man. Daniel Carlson is so far, man, with those 50-plus yarders, man. That's looking good for us. So let's get into this question right here. Yeah, Bowden Jr. was a player that my buddy actually predicted. I want to see him play, but did he somehow make it back to the team? Because I know I think they got back a 4th-round pick and trading him to Miami. I was bummed. I didn't see any reason why to trade him. They were saying something about lacking in speed. He didn't look as fast on game tape as he did as he did in practice. So that's my only question. I was a little disturbed that they had traded him. So because once again, there's talent there with Bowden. I did watch a lot of tape. That was my buddy's prediction. That crossed my mind. That's John Q's question right there. Yes. We could play, Belichick, Brady, twice this year and get double revenge. I like that, man. And not only that, but the Super Bowl, man, because, let's get into that, man. Let's get into that, that era, man. Going into the year 2000, man, the Raiders defense was awesome. I think they knocked out 12 quarterbacks in the year 2000, which led up to that Baltimore game where Gannon gets his shoulder crushed, a lame call. They also took a touchdown away from Andre Rison late in that game, which screwed us over. So once again, referees never in our corner, but that was in my opinion, that was a team that could have won 3 Super Bowls. And I did go back. I got a lot of tape on VHS. I got the Tuck Rule on VHS still to this day. And I've watched them all. I watched all the games, during the off season. We had a kind of a long year of staying at home and doing our part and all that. So I got the old VHS, connected to the old TV, and all that. I popped those tapes in, man. I watched a lot of Rich Gannon, man. And Rich Gannon was probably one of the best quarterbacks in Raider uniform that I witnessed, just based on what, I know he had Tim Brown. I know he had Jerry Rice. They had the running game going strong. Gruden had built that original team, starting in 98. They picked up Charles Woodson. That was another draft pick, man. We nailed that draft pick. And, going back, man, into that, that was a 3 Super Bowl. That was a team that was built to win 3 Super Bowls. And it was just unfortunate, man. And that's where, when I'm talking about losing sleep, man, that still lives inside of me as a fan, dude. Like in 2020, man, I want to get back to that, man. I want this team to be built like that again. And it looks like it is, man. It's Derek Carr getting over everything, putting everything behind him, man, to get in full gear moving forward. And so far, so good, man. I mean, the statistics are there, but this game is going to be a test, man. It's going to be a test. Bill Belichick, they got the defense. They're going to send the heat. And, but yeah, just going back through all that, what led up to the Tuck rule and led up to the Buccaneers, the Raiders facing the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. Just everything. Because you think about it, the Tuck rule led to Gruden getting traded. That's what got Gruden traded to Tampa Bay. The Raiders, if they're continuing on in the playoffs and on to the Super Bowl, if they're in Pittsburgh the following week after that Tuck rule game, they're on to the Super Bowl if they win that game. And, what had happened at that time is Tampa Bay screwed up. They thought they were getting Bill Parcells, and they freaking that fell through. They fired Tony Dungy. Bill Parcells did not join the Bucs, and they were desperate for a coach. They cough up 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, $8 million cash. And that's how John Gruden gets traded right there. It's like it was almost like a too good to be true offer when you're looking at it from draft capital and cash and all that. And you're Al Davis at that time. You're all about that capital, man. And you're all about getting draft picks and wheeling and dealing. But at the same time, and he didn't think he was going to be able to re-sign Gruden to a long-term deal. But aside from all that, that's why this game is very important for a lot of us Raider fans. There is a revenge game to this game, man, and to this matchup just between John Gruden and Bill Belichick, because we're rekindling, in my personal opinion, the goal is to rekindle what was built starting in 98 and getting us back on track, man. It's been a rough 19 years since that game. It's been a rough 19 years. Even though that year of going to the Super Bowl was a great time, man. I didn't have tickets, but I lived in the San Diego area. That game was in San Diego. I was there at the stadium every day watching them put it together. It was only like a 6-day or 7-day stretch to the Super Bowl. We didn't get that extra week to prepare. But one thing is just leading up to that was like the good, we're winning the West, all that stuff. And then leading up to that, and the next thing that's it, man. After that loss, you think maybe Kerry Collins down the road was going to step up. They make that acquisition to get Randy Moss, and then everything just kind of snowballed on us for about 18 years, aside from the 2016 year. So this is, and Freddie B, man, that is a good point, man, because this is the start of a new era. With John Gruden. And in this new era, man, we're 2-0. We haven't lost a football game, man. So we're going to ride momentum, man. We're going to ride. I always like using this term. We're going to ride momentum, and we're just going to crash into everything, man. Since that happened, the Patriots, they won 6 freaking Super Bowls. They didn't have 1 Super Bowl going into that game. They've won 6 Super Bowls, man. I say let's just ghost ride momentum. Like, like set up the 10 bowling pins. I want 10 championships. Get that bowling ball and let's just crash through everything and get our new era off to a great start, man. And what would it be like? Just like Freddie B said, man, we're going to post his comment. Just like he said, man, winning this game is a great start to this new era, man. Shout out to you, brother. And, how you doing there, Evergreens, man? Yes, defense will need to step it up, man. I think those Jonathan Abram blitzes, man, that when you're getting Jonathan Abram dialed up on a blitz, I think that's a great thing. Could you get a penalty? Could you get an injury? So to say, Jonathan Abram's ready to crash and everything. One thing I've noticed with Jonathan Abram, he does play smart. He does play smart. his head's up when he lays those hits. Most of the time he's been dropping the shoulder in it, so it's not helmet to helmet or anything like that. But Jonathan Abram, man, could be a huge X factor in this game. One thing, though, now the Patriots, though, they're without their Pro Bowl center in this game. He broke his thumb, had to get surgery, and he's out, man. So this could be another leverage piece right here for our young defensive line, man, because we need somebody to step up. Mo Hurst, if Mo Hurst can start, and he's getting through. But, Cleveland Farrell, the number 4 overall pick, we want to see that type of number 4 overall caliber, man, because we passed on Josh Allen to get Cleveland Farrell. Cleveland Farrell has shown his moments. He's a well-disciplined player. He's a good character, but we're talking lights-out talent to get to the quarterback, because quarterback pressure is key for this defense. And even if you got to send that corner, even if you're sending Damon Arnett, maybe that's a move right there that helps build up Damon Arnett. Because I don't want to say that he's not confident, because he looks like a confident young man out there. And, but one thing is that, the media is who's picking on him through 2 games. And once again, I said that in the podcast, these guys are going to get picked on no matter what. I mean, we've already seen Okudah get picked on in week 1. So, yeah, so we'll pop up another one here. Yeah. So good point, man. What's up, Re-Up, man? How you doing today? That's a great comment. So the O-line doesn't look good, man. We got Trent Brown out. Rinchi Incognito is going to be out. So they're going to be shuffling pieces. One thing, though, we did see some good play last year. I mean, we remember when Rodney Hudson went down in the middle of the game last year, and I think it was against the Colts, and then Andre James stepped up nicely to fill in. So one thing I'm confident with so far with Tom Cable and this offensive line is they do seem to have the right pieces in place and the right versatility on the field. So, therefore, the offensive line, I'm pretty confident in them just based on their resiliency and when it comes to injuries, because they have dealt with injuries in the past. We haven't seen a full season. We're not going to see a full season from Trent Brown this year. A lot of questions surrounding him, but Denzel Good has stepped up nicely. You got Gabe Jackson out there. You got the rookie. The rookie did struggle last week, John Simpson. So, but one thing though is Josh Jacobs has that vision. So I'm pretty sure Josh Jacobs is going to play in this game. And if Josh Jacobs, he gets those chunk yardage, man. He has that special. He's that it factor in a player, man. And I was talking about it yesterday, man. He just looks like a Hall of Famer right now, man. That Khalil Mack trade, man. You trade a Hall of Famer, you're getting a Hall of Famer in Josh Jacobs in return, and he looks every bit of that type of pedigree of a player. I mean, he's already in categories with Marcus Allen and Bo Jackson. So if Josh Jacobs gets going downhill, that's going to boost the offensive line, because that's what if your running back is ripping off chunk yards and getting into the end zone, your offensive line is eating on Sunday, man, and that is going to be huge for this team, man. So that is a concern. But once again, I'm confident that they're going to actually use that to their strength, and getting the fullback involved. Monday Night Football, I really think that pass to Alec Ingold is what truly opened up the offense, because now they have to account for the fullback, and they got the ball to 12 different receivers. He spread the ball all around, and getting the ball, everybody involved in that offense. It's going to be nice. Now here's another thing. We got 4 tight ends, I believe, on this roster still. So the one thing with maybe Jason Witten gets involved a little bit more in this offense, and maybe we get more of Foster Moreau involved in this offense. And because that's kind of like this matchup between Bill Belichick and John Gruden, they're going to use the tight ends a lot in this game. They're going to use the fullbacks a lot. They're going to use their running backs. That's going to be the strength between these two coaches. And what's going down is that so in these situations, I think it's important for Derek Carr to use his legs, because Cam Newton's going to use his legs in this game. So if it's there, Derek's got to take it, man, and go from there. Yep, and mean pretty much answered the question right there. Great, and San Diego Raider, what's up, brother, man? How you been, man? How you been, brother, man? It's good to see you on here. Just when Johnny, what's going on, brother? What's going on? It's good to see you, man. We were just talking about momentum and crashing into everything, man. We're setting up 10 bowling pins. You know, the lefty's got the ball. We're going to put that spin on it, baby. We're going to start knocking down pins in 2020, baby. So, yep. Yep, that's the key. I agree with that, man. Because and by the way, man, real quick, man, you guys, you know, if you haven't already, man, hit up Just Win Johnny for a T-shirt, man. I rock my black mass every Sunday, off season, you name it, man. That's the that's the man right there. Hit him up for a nice tee, man. It's good to see you, Johnny, man. I hope I hope everything's going well, and I hope you've been safe this whole off season, man, or this whole entire year, man. It's been a crazy year, and I'm happy to be back on here, man. I'm loving the energy, Raider Nation. I'm loving it, baby. So, you know, but getting into those matchups, though, man, that's what's going to be key tomorrow. Is, you know, that's where I'm really just the mind of the both coaches, man, because these guys have been around for a long time, man, and yes, and that's the key. What's up, Watts? How you been, brother? How you been, man? It's good to see you as well, man. I hope you're doing well as well, man. It's been a minute. And yes, we can, man. We are one of the top scoring teams in the NFL, in the top 5. And you know, 68 points between 2 games, you know, is a huge deal, man. We talked about that a lot last year, getting points on the board, and all that. And so, you know, points and answering points and just not leaving points on the field. And so when we get in the red zone, I mean, I think the Raiders are 35%, or I'm sorry, 75% in the touchdown category when they get in the red zone. So that's actually impressive so far through 2 games. And you know, like, you know, just jumping right back into that, though, man. But points are key, man. You know, you got Daniel Carlson. He's hitting 50-plus yard field goals. You know, he had that 56-yarder as well. So, I mean, that's a promising move right there. And Gruden having the confidence in his young kicker to kick that field goal to pretty much ice that game Monday night, you know, in front of a national crowd. I mean, in front of a nationally televised game. You know, that's a lot of pressure on a young kicker, especially one who struggled a little bit last year. He struggled in that Denver game, missing an extra point, you know, last year. So yeah, man, like, points are going to be key, man. And that's the thing. And the Patriots, they got somewhat, you know, one player, you know, I noticed it in that Seattle game, man, is Chase Winovich, man. Chase Winovich is pretty quick off that edge. So, like I said, kind of maybe I'm thinking Gruden's going to come with a heavier tight end set, you know, maybe to add more protection for Derek Carr, because, you know, that guy's coming off the edge pretty quick, and that's going to be key, man, is keeping Carr clean in that pocket. They were very good. I mean, New Orleans had a good defense. You know, their defense was highly praised going into week 2, and they did find that answer. They found that clean pocket, and you see when Carr has that clean pocket to survey the field, he's very effective. The pass to Zay Jones was beautiful. That's exactly what I've been talking about, guys. The low and away on the sideline, only where the receiver can get it, and speed helps that, man. You got 4.4 speed with Zay Jones, you know, and you know, even without Henry Ruggs on the field, that's going to be the kicker. But no matter what, they got to account for Darren Waller, they got to account for Josh Jacobs, and they got to account for you know, even Foster Moreau, because that guy had 5 touchdowns in his short you know, stint last year, because he tore his ACL last year, I believe, or stretched it. You know, that's why he was out those last few games. But Foster Moreau was on a tear, and I just think Foster Moreau and Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs and the fullback Alec Ingle, I think it's going to be a unit like so. Like, you're going to see those double tight end sets. You're going to see the heavy. You're going to see them getting the fullback involved. And yeah, man. But I see you guys talking about Madden in there. Just real quick, I got back on Madden, dude. I used to play Madden years ago, and I actually got back. I haven't played online yet, but I'm not doing too bad on there, man. I got PlayStation 4 is what I play. I just need to get a new router, man. I need to get a new router, because this router, I got new internet this year, and it sucks, man. So I got to go find a good router so I can get better connection, man. And I'm back online, man. But yeah, no, I finally got Madden again. I was sucking at Madden the last couple of years, because I started playing again just a little bit, but now I'm actually doing a little bit better. But I used to go to the tournaments years ago, play online. Love that stuff, man. Love that stuff, man. I see you guys chopping it up about there. And here I'm going to put Raider Zach up. What's up, Raider Zach? How you doing, brother? Yes, and that is no question. We can compete with this team, man. They are, like I brought that up earlier, Cam Newton and Derek Carr are the only two quarterbacks I believe in the league right now that are completing 70% of their passes. Derek Carr's in like 73% of his passes, I believe, which is phenomenal right now. But the key is injuries, man. Now, just in general, the league has been burdened by injuries, man. We saw week 2, we see Saquon Barkley go down. There were some major injuries. You saw Nick Bosa get carted off the field. He tore his ACL, looked like an ACL tear. I mean, anytime they're carting a player off the field, that's devastating news for a team. So, knock on wood for no injuries. That's the deal right there, man. It's just, I got my fingers crossed. No injuries. Knock on wood one more time. But yeah, man, that's going to be the key. And we have had our injuries, but the good thing is that the incognito injury isn't as bad as I thought it was. Anytime you see an Achilles injury, that's where I kind of freak out. I'm either thinking it got stretched. I guess it's strained. So that's going to be a 3-week IR stay. And then, man, and I'm hoping even down the road, I mean, losing Tanner Muse earlier this year, that hurts. That guy runs a 4.4 40, man. And I mean, that'd be great for the linebacking core. And depending on how they would use him as a hybrid safety, if they put him in certain packages, I mean, there's so many things that could come out with some of the players that we're missing right now. How do we attack the secondary? Well, that's going to be tough, man. We're without Henry Ruggs. I think Henry Ruggs was drawing a lot of looks from the defense, man. I'm gonna get to re-up in a second too, man. But yeah, but as far as attacking that secondary, man, pump fakes, man. I would like to see. I think what we did last week, man, going early, trying to stretch the field. We've seen it in 2 games already. I think that's really opened up the offense. I actually talked about that a lot last year, man. Take a couple shots deep, man. You're going to get the defense to play more honest. When you show more aggression on the play calling, which Gruden has, they've taken those shots. And they did that years ago with Gannon, man. Drop back, throw it deep. Even if you overthrow your receiver, no matter what, you're getting the defense to play more honest. You're letting them know that you're fearless, man, and that you're going to take shots. You're going to spread the ball all over the field, and then it just kind of opens everything up underneath, and it helps Carr get that underneath game going as well. So as far as attacking the secondary, man, I think, Carr using his legs as well, rolling out and maybe throwing on the run as well, could be a huge asset to the offense, as far as like, a huge what's the word I'm looking for? Like a huge contribution to get that keep those chains moving. But yeah, man, I think getting the running game going, all that, setting up the play action. Anytime you can freeze that secondary, and even Derek Carr, the feet are still a little happy. I mean, there was times he was still dancing back there, but the key with Carr, man, I noticed his eyes are still downfield, and he did hold the safety. That was one of my criticisms last year, was not holding the safety and get him just to freeze him for a second, just to get that little window, that little passing window open, so that way you can complete a pass. Now, Edwards, Watts Raider brought it up. Brian Edwards, man. I really think this is maybe a game where you really want to get him heavily involved, man, and get him, see what you got with Brian Edwards. Because now here's another thing. Brian Edwards, when you get him on the short routes, he actually, in college, he had a lot of great runs after the catch, man. And that guy was returning punts. I mean, he's an all-around wide receiver, and he's got hands, so if you get the football to him, early on in that short game, he can be just as effective, somewhat like a Darren Waller, how you get the ball in his hands and let him do work. That could be a huge one right there. But I'm going to catch up on one comment. We got re-up with who do you think will be a quarterback spy for Cam? Woo! I'm going to say Corey Littleton, man. I'm going to say Corey Littleton. I think Jonathan Abrams going to be kind of roaming free and making adjustments and all that, and definitely be used in blitz packages as we had talked about. But I'm going to say Corey Littleton. I know there's been a little bit of criticism. My buddy shot me a text earlier this week. He goes, "Man, Corey Littleton's struggling." I go, "Yeah, but." One thing I look at with this defense, I'm not going to trash our defense, man, because I really think with all these new players that are on the defense, and I think Kwiatkowski is a key loss, man. Losing him, hurt this defense, of course. But the thing is with Corey Littleton and this defense, I just think they just need to gel a little bit, man. I think we're seeing some moments at times where they've had their moments, but in this league, man, it's just so hard to build a defense because even the Baltimore Ravens, they're going to cough up some points here and there, and so like, and you saw that, the Chiefs, they had a horrible defense throughout, for the last few years. And then last year, their defense just came along as the season progressed. So I'm hoping something similar for this Raider defense that, as this season progresses, and if we can get this win, our defense slowly just gets better with this team, kind of like what happened with Kansas City. Because we're going to need it, man. We're going to need it, and and then we're going to see on Monday night too with the Chiefs and the Ravens, man. We're going to see what these defenses do because those are pretty solid defenses right there. And I have a funny feeling each one of those teams, that score could be up there in the 30s. They could, that could be a 60 points between the two teams in that game. So, because this is just an offensive-driven league. But yeah, if the Raiders can get a key score, I think maybe this is the game where we see like Arden Key, man, because Arden Key he gets off that edge quick, man, and even last year, you saw him get into the quarterback, but he's just not closing. Man, if he could just get that clean sack, that could be a spark as well. That could be a spark, man. If you get Arden Key involved and he gets a big sack in a game like this on the road, that could be huge. And, but Mo Hurst is one I've really had my eyes on. I have a funny feeling this is like his breakout year, like a huge breakout year for Mo Hurst, man. And tomorrow's the game to take advantage of that because they are without their Pro Bowl center. They're, and not only that, opportunities could be there with confusion and all that. I know Belichick's, we can't doubt him. He's going to probably have these guys ready, man. And, yeah, no, I actually, yeah, no, good point, John Q, man. Edwards was a player that I actually was on my mock, man. I actually nailed that pick, man, and I was so thankful when they drafted him because just watching his tape, man, he does have the hands and very similar to CeeDee Lamb. That's what made CeeDee Lamb such a high graded prospect, man, was just using those hands and being that possession receiver, so. Yeah, man, I agree. San Diego Ray. Let me put his comment up real quick. That's and Foster Moreau's kind of that player that he came on strong. I believe he had 5 touchdowns last year, 500 plus yards receiving. So some of these guys. Here's another player that we didn't bring up, Hunter Renfrow, man, in this passing game. What if this is, see, now the Raiders in 2 years with what they've done with the draft and the receivers they've added, we can look all across this roster and we can look at players like Hunter Renfrow, the upside with Brian Edwards, the Josh Jacobs, the future Hall of Fame running back, that I'm just going to say it, you got Darren Waller, the baller, man. I mean, you got all these players, weapons. These are weapons, man. And you get them involved, man. You get these guys going. That offense is the oil to this team, man. Just Gruden's an offensive mind, getting this team going, man, and moving the football, moving the chains. Yeah, man, I'm going to put up Easy Raiders comment here, man. I want to see more of Hurst and Collins collapse the pocket together. They need to more play. And I agree, man, because Collins is another one, man, another guy that gets that inside leverage, gets the shoulder low. He can rip through. And Mo Hurst is very similar as well. Mo Hurst in that Carolina game, I believe it was the Carolina game where he had that clean sack. I'm pretty sure that I don't know if they gave him credit for a half sack on that, but he should have got credit for a full sack because the pressure came from Mo Hurst and he drove his man all the way back into the quarterback with his arms out and brought Bridgewater to the ground, man. Cam Newton's going to be a big, different beast. Cam Newton is a beast, man. I've never disliked Cam Newton. I mean, I dislike some of the antics and all that stuff, but I'm saying, like, as far as Cam Newton as a quarterback and all that, that guy, I would never look past. I mean, he was a number 1 overall pick. He's actually a really smart guy. He's very smart. He's like I said, I brought up earlier, I think he's completing like 71% of his passes. He has 4 rushing touchdowns. I thought the play call at the end of the Sunday night game, the Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks, that was a very predictable play call by Bill Belichick or Josh McDaniels, whoever put in that call. But that was very predictable, and that's what got them the L on Sunday night. And hopefully we can get into their head come tomorrow. just get in their head. That's the chess match we're talking about, man. John Gruden getting inside of Belichick's head and, throwing a few head scratchers out there where you catch Belichick off guard, and it might be those deep balls, man. It might be challenging him deep with Ruggs ruled out of this game. So maybe it's a Hunter Renfrow, man. We saw Hunter Renfrow get some break some tackles and get some big gains. So therefore, I mean, it just remains to be seen who gets involved. Now, San Diego Raider with a great comment there. What's up with the Meek Robertson, man? I don't know, man. I don't know because I think we've seen what Joyner can give us in the slot, and it's still there's still some confusion, man. I still see a player that is struggling out there and getting picked on, and LaMarcus Joyner, man. I think, like I said, maybe he's better off as a free safety. I know they've been rotating him in that nickel spot, but Amik Robertson, man, that's a guy that jumps routes right there. That was a second round. That was a second round pick, man, in my opinion. And they got him in the 5th round. I mean, Amik Robertson on my mock was in the 2nd round. So I would love to see him get out there and get some looks out there, man, and see if he can jump a route. That's a game-changing play, man. If he gets underneath, gets a clean pick, that's a pick 6. Most likely he's going to be a pick 6 type corner, man, and I would love to see that. In Trayvon Mullen, though, Trayvon Mullen is another pick 6, man. He was close last year. He had like 2 dropped or 3 dropped pick 6. He had that one against Denver early, or one he tried to jump, but he got burned on. That was early on his first game playing the Monday night game versus Denver. Then he had that game in Houston, man. He dropped that clean one, man. And Trayvon Mullen, man, saved us against the Cincinnati Bengals with that game-saving interception where he tracked the football. So Trayvon Mullen's another one, man, that could easily be a game changer from the defensive side of the football, getting an interception, because turnovers are huge in this game, especially on the road. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so Richard Miller, thank you for the update on that. Yes. Oh, they are not allowing fans for September. Okay, cool. Thank you for that update, man. Appreciate that. And yeah, I know. Freddie B, man, you know this, man. We're excited, man. We praised Mayock a lot this offseason. I had a lot of fun with Mojo and those guys, and Merce Fan Cave and all those guys in the offseason doing the draft, man. Just doing the thing. Shout out to Raider Ramon if you're listening, man. That was the memes for Mike Mayock. It was just awesome. So always check everybody out on social media with the memes with Mayock and all that, man. It's been a blessing. And, Mayock embraces being a Raider, man. He embraces it. His family does. That's the true nature of it, man. And I just love what Mark Davis has done, man. Mark Davis, earned my respect. And it's really, to be honest, it started with Reggie McKenzie, man. I liked Reggie McKenzie when he was with the Packers. I liked how they brought Reggie McKenzie in as a general manager to start getting the salary cap restructured, getting everything in place. We got Derek Carr out of the deal in 2014. That's another draft pick I was high on. I thought the Raiders were going to go for him in the 1st round. They ended up getting him falling right into their lap after they get Khalil Mack in the 2nd round. So, just the way this whole thing's come together, man. I was upset, of course, in 2016. I went to that last San Diego Charger, Oakland Raider game back then and there. And I thought the Raiders were going to move to LA, and then everybody was kind of freaking out and all that, with like where the Raiders going to go. And then the NFL was shutting down all those stadium proposals in Oakland. And look at now, man. Look how fast forward to now, what the situation we're in right now, as far as the Raiders having a brand new stadium, getting more national attention. I believe tomorrow's game is going to be pretty much spread throughout the nation. There are going to be a lot of networks, a lot of local networks throughout the national TV spotlight. They're going to be picking up this game tomorrow, man. And you got I think it's Tony Romo and Jim Nantz got this game. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they got the telecast for this game. And I know, man. I was at that game, bro. And then the following week was Christmas Eve, and we all know what happened, and we're trying to get back to that, man, because we saw similar what we're seeing this year. We were putting up points, man. That shootout with Tampa Bay, in 2016, everything, man. I mean, Derek Carr threw for 500 yards in that game. I mean, it was just a huge year, man. And to end it on that note was a huge disappointment, man. And actually another situation where we're just sad, dude. It was Christmas Eve. I was sad. everybody's like, oh, they come in the living room like, oh man, Raiders are doing good, man. Hey Dave, you're happy. And I'm just sitting there like with my head down. I'm like, yeah, but Carr just got carted out, man, and like, and I'm on Twitter trying to get the update like as fast as I can to see what's going on. So knock on wood, no injuries. Yeah, man, let's get this win, man. I'm gonna be excited, man. So, but just a quick update for tomorrow. I'm gonna, I'm trying to shorten up the podcast a little bit and trying to do it to where it's, I can get them out a little faster. So tomorrow it's gonna be a game prediction to start the day, man. I should have that out by 8 a.m. Pacific time, man, and that way it's just a little tiny bit of content before we start the day, just getting fired up, man, because game day, man, it's still the same, dude. It's still the same, man. It's like pacing around the house, getting fired up, losing sleep the night before, and all that. So, and this off season going into this 2020 season was so much different than the past. We've had, just going back to when all this started, man, the Khalil Mack trade, everything into now, the grass is so much greener now, man, and it's so much more exciting. And, as much as we all love Mac, that, trade, was it just created so much media negativity, a lot of people will say, oh, well, the fans, this and that. I always blame the media, man. The media just puts out so much negativity, on stuff like that. And then they jump on the freaking, then they jump on the then they jump on the bandwagon. So like now, but like right now, I haven't seen anybody really pick the Raiders to win tomorrow's game. So we're not getting love on this game, and that's what we want, man. We don't want love from the media. So what's up, Shawshank? What's up, buddy? I knew that was you. What's up, brother? It's been a minute since I've been on here, man. I'm happy to be on. I'm glad you're here. We're actually live right now, man. We are live right now. So shout out to you, brother. I hope you're having a great day. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a good day tomorrow, man. Getting on to another Sunday, man. Another week, man. Everything going through this week. It was a busy week, and I just love it when it leads up to game day, man, because this is what it's all about, man. This is what we live for, man. We are diehard Raider fans, man, and this is just how it is, man. And yeah, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm excited for these matchups. Excited for to see if the Raiders could be 3-0, man. That would be special. That would be special. And we already talked about how special these young players are and what Mike Mayock has done, and John Gruden with the play calling. John Gruden's play calling was phenomenal on Monday night. I felt like he did everything to get that team to get the win. The pass to Alec Ingold opens up everything. The fact that he's getting Darren Waller involved. The previous week they got Josh Jacobs heavily involved, and he sniffed out 3 touchdowns in that game. So, so cool. Yeah, no, I'm I like it, Keith. I like it, Shashay. Hell yeah, man. Hey, that's what we do, dude. I know. Hey, you know what? Let's talk some fun, man. So Patriots fans, okay? So like they get their bragging rights, right? I mean, it's been these, disastrous, last 19 years, nothing went our way. We haven't won the West. I mean, I was at the game, dude, in Oakland, the last one against Denver when they won the West. I was at that game, man, and I'm hungry for another AFC West win. AFC West first and then on to the Super Bowl, So, going into this, fans, they just, it's crazy how it's like, I grew up on a Raider winning franchise, man. I mean, I grew up on Marcus Allen. I grew up on, the Raiders winning all the time. I mean, at worst they'd be 7-9 or 8-8, but all this 4-12 stuff started with like Joe Bugle, then John Gruden comes in, rekindles the whole thing, and all that. I'm used to Al Davis, Al Davis just making those moves, man, and you just the league could never bully him around. I mean, Al Davis was just his own guy, man, who made he did it his way, and so and here we are in 2020, man. And like with Patriot fans, man, I love giving them a hard time. So I'll tell you a good one, man. I was in Vegas. What was it? 2 years. It was the night we played Miami, and Marshawn Lynch ran for 2 touchdowns. I was in Las Vegas at O'Shea's Bar, and this guy rolls up, and I knew it too. His wife had a Brady jersey on, and he had an old Humphrey jersey on, the linebacker and he had the old throwback Patriots. So he's making it known like I'm not a bandwagon fan. And I had to say it. I go, man, all you damn bandwagon Patriot fans, this is the home team right here. I said it just like that. I'm all, this Raider brand is the home team in Las Vegas, man. And you need to know that. You bandwagon fans need to know that. Just getting that reaction out of a guy that I know that's not a bandwagon fan, because he probably gets told that a lot on the internet and all that. I just love having that kind of fun with Patriots fans, man. Just calling them bandwagon, like, oh, must be easy, must be nice. I'm just going to go pick out my Patriots jersey today because it's just convenient that I happen to root for this team because they win all these Super Bowls and all that crap. So, and then also we were there for the Eagles, man. When the Eagles beat the Patriots, good spot, man. Right where I said I was at O'Shea's in Las Vegas, right above that bar. And they have like gamer tournaments and stuff there. It's a pretty cool spot, but it's called On the Strip. And you go upstairs, and it was a Super Bowl party. It costs $50, dude. I like it. I like it, San Diego. I love it. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, so we're going here. We'll put that one up. You know, so there we go, dude. You know, we're upstairs on the Strip, dude. It's $50 a head, man. You get up there, dude. I go up there. There's a whole table of Patriots fans. I'm talking a long, like, King's table of Patriots fans, dude. And I got my Derek Carr jersey on. I got a few buddies with us. And, you know, we got in there, dude. It was a $50 cover charge, but it covers like $50 portion of your food. And I ended up spending like $100 that day in there. But I'm telling you, man, the spread was phenomenal. I mean, they had these jumbo shrimp they were bringing out, buckets of beer. Yeah. I like it, Johnny. You know what I mean? And so, like, but dude, it was so bomb, man. Dude, it was these jumbo shrimps, buckets of beer, and just had a freaking blast. But I will tell you, man, I lit up that Patriot table, man, because when Brandon Cooks got laid out on that first play or the second play of the game, I jumped out of my seat, dude. I jumped out of my seat, and these guys were like, you're not an Eagles fan. You're just a Raiders fan. I go, I'm freaking rooting for the Patriots to lose right now. I said, I'm waiting for this game. I hope you guys lose this game, and I hope I can high-five Eagles fans for the whole night. That's all I'm going to do, and that's exactly what happened, man. So shout out to that Super Bowl a few years back, man. That was great. And listening to the radio on the way home after that game was even better, man, because they were trashing on the Patriots and all that. So that's a fact. That's a fact right there. Yes, that's the one thing, man, is that mentality, man. When Derek Carr feels disrespected, you know, all that. Going into the Denver game, remember that, like, the Monday night game last year. So going into that Denver Monday night football game, man, a year ago. And remember, Antonio Brown, man, ditched the Raiders, went to the Patriots. I mean, Carr had that look in his eyes coming out that night. That's the Derek Carr we need, man. Derek Carr with a sense of urgency, you know, where Derek Carr wants to prove the haters wrong, man. And yeah, man, that's exactly what needs to happen when he gets that dog-like mentality and he's under pressure. Now, here's another thing to tomorrow's game. It's going to be in my game prediction a little bit, but this is the game where maybe you're down, you know, 3 points, 4 points with 3 minutes left, maybe 2 minutes on the clock, maybe a couple timeouts. That's where Derek Carr is going to thrive. That's where Derek Carr, when that hurry-up offense, and that's another thing. When you're running a hurry-up offense with Derek Carr is extremely effective, man. And that's what separates good quarterbacks and great quarterbacks. And I think if the Raiders can get more of that in the system, in the play calling system, get that more in the game plan, I should say, and get more of that sense of urgency, like, hey, dude, Derek, and you might even see it early on tomorrow. You might see the Raiders open up on offense and with a hurry up, high tempo offense to get things going, because once again, John Gruden's going to come into this game. I think John Gruden's been preparing for this game specifically all off season. You know, we know Gruden's up early. You know, he used to be a 4 a.m.er. Now he's like a 2:30, 3 a.m. guy. You know, he's there early, man, getting that game plan ready. They're on a short week, so I'm sure this game was well thought out. And I would love – that's just something I personally would like to see. One thing I do compare Derek Carr to is very similar. He's got the Brett Favre arm strength. He has the arm strength. He has that Aaron Rodgers type pocket presence. And Aaron Rodgers runs that high tempo very well. So I've always felt that, you know, Derek Carr with those similarities, and they were drafted. You know, Reggie McKenzie was in the front office when they drafted Brett Favre way back in the day. Reggie McKenzie was there also when they got Aaron Rodgers, and Reggie McKenzie was a huge part in drafting Derek Carr. Reggie McKenzie loved Derek Carr. That was like his primary number one target in that draft, was getting Derek Carr. And so, if you can implement that type of system, a high tempo, hurry up offense early on, because they're going to be expecting Josh Jacobs to get the first couple carries, and Josh Jacobs is very effective. He sets up those 3rd and 2s, those 3rd and 3s, and you can even give it to him on a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3. Josh Jacobs nearly took the defense into the end zone. I mean, he keeps his legs going, man. So this is a running back that, once again, if you come out with that high tempo, hurry up offense, keep that defense off guard, once again, the adjustments from the defensive side of the football for the New England Patriots, it could pay off huge for the Raiders, to where, they get in their head, man. And, and only that, you're keeping Chase Winovich in check when you run that hurry up offense, because Chase Winovich is one that I've keyed on, man. And he does strike a concern, man, because that guy was looking pretty good. And Russell Wilson is no scrub. It was Russell Wilson and the Seahawks and the Patriots last week. Russell Wilson's no scrub. And Russell Wilson, they put up 35 points on him. So I would love to see that, man. If the Raiders could put up 35 points in New England on the road, that would be huge, man. I mean, this team would be averaging 34 and a half points a game through 3 games. That would be huge. So yeah, man, like I love all that stuff, man. And and for our defensive side of the football, man, yeah, I'll just put it out there, they're gonna need to, with Corey Littleton, I would like to see him, as you had mentioned earlier, maybe as the spy. We'll put that comment up real quick. You were right, man. I brought that up earlier. We were very lucky in that red zone with that fumbled snap. Alec Ingold jumped back on it. That could have been a game-changing situation. One thing, though, to note for this game, though, is the Patriots are without their Pro Bowl center. So, maybe our defensive line gets a little bit of an opportunity in this game where there's a communication error, a fundamental error on the field that could work in our favor, man, because turnovers on the road is what we need. And the Patriots defense is number 1 in turnovers right now through 2 games. They have the most turnovers in the league with 4, and I think close to that is 3. Securing the football is going to be huge. I love it, Shawshank. Coming with we're getting aggressive today, man. The Raiders by 14 tomorrow. That's what I'm saying right there. I love it. Stomp all over them, man. This is a game where this is a young team too. You want to build that confidence, man. You want to build that confidence, beat a team, that has been winning for the last, 19 years, would be huge for these young, especially on the road. It's just going to put that much more confidence and that much more, this team's going to believe that much more in John Gruden and Greg Olsen. And once again, with Paul Guenther, man, it's just making those defensive adjustments. He seemed good. He seemed like he makes adjustments well in the 3rd quarter this year. Things start to get away from him a little bit at times, but the key for Guenther, man, is I know they're not generating the pass rush with the front 4 up front right now. That's lacking right now. But I think with getting those cornerback blitzes in place, man, sending linebackers, sending defensive backs, especially guys like Jonathan Abram, man, it's going to send the message real quick and could fire up some momentum for that defense, especially if it creates a turnover, especially if you get a defensive touchdown. We've been really hard on the defense, and, rightfully so. Statistically, they're not, excellent in every category. But one thing I will point out, man, that Indianapolis game last year, you can pretty much credit the defense for that win. The game against the Chargers, the Thursday night game where they had 5 sacks, 3 interceptions, I think, versus Rivers. Now, Rivers was trash for the Chargers as well. But, that was a huge defensive game. Trayvon Mullen getting that game-winning interception against the Bengals. That you can credit the defense, man, on some of these W's, man. And but then again, Gardner Minshew, getting a game-winning touchdown drive, you got to look at those things as well. But wow, what a year so far, man, with injuries, man. Like Denver, I mean, they're decimated right now, losing their quarterback Von Miller and Cortland Sutton. That's some painful stuff for the Denver Broncos, man, right now. And you got so that's a team that's just, I thought the Broncos were going to be pretty good this year. I didn't think they were going to be, that bad of a team, but man, they they're going to be I pretty much wrote them off already with those injuries right there. Kansas City, they seem to be a little bit, I mean, they're playing well, they're winning, but based on what I saw last week, Super Bowl hangover so far, man. Seen a little bit of that. Andy Reid's play calling isn't quite as open as it was last year. So, that remains to be seen. So I'm really interested in that Baltimore-Kansas City game, see how they match up, see what happens, man, because, man, I would love for things to just go in our favor, man, and we can rekindle what that Raider football I was talking about in the early 2000s, what Gruden had set out to build, back in 98. It's unfinished business, man. That's what this weekend's all about. Unfinished business, man. We're cleaning out the closet. We're getting off on the right foot tomorrow, man. Unfinished business for the Raiders, man. The new era in Las Vegas. Man, I'm looking forward to this, man. I'm looking forward to this. So, man, I appreciate you guys, man. Shout out to all you guys, man. And, and all that, and the participation, everything, man, of getting all of our fan base fired up. I cannot wait until the world opens back up. And, once they give us that little bit, I'm there, man. And I can't wait, man. I hope I meet you guys in Vegas. We have a good time, man, because Vegas is such a badass spot to chill. And there's so many cool spots, man. And it's like, I wanted to be there on Monday night so bad, man. I was like, gosh, man, I mean, like, my spot is right over by the Link Hotel. It's actually right by Stage Door Casino. There's a little Italian spot right around the corner called Batista's Hole in the Wall, man. It's a bomb spot, dude. You know what I mean? Like there's just I want to go to. My wife was when I were talking about, should we go to Vegas? We were like thinking about it, but it's like, it's not Vegas unless it's full capacity for me, man, because I love that action on the Strip. I love getting fired up. I've been running around Vegas for the last 3 years. Since they announced they were moving to Vegas, I've been running around saying this, man. Home team, baby. Home team. And at first they were like completely standoffish. They're like, we don't want football team here, this and that. Dude, by year 3, it was like March was the last time I went. And like last year in March was the last time I went, and everybody was embracing. I had people coming up to me at that point. I had I had a restaurant owner that came up to me, goes, "Hey man, you and your buddies want to party here? We got happy hour at this time." Gave me his business card, still got his business card. I mean, so there was just so much more energy once that stadium, and that was kind of the vision. It goes back to Field of Dreams, man. You build it, they will come, man. Once that stadium, and you saw it coming together. Man, I got to show you guys something. This, now I think it means something more. This is a sandstone right here from the lot. It was 2 days before Mark Davis and them had those gold shovels with those hard hats and announced that they were going to break ground. I was kicked off the lot. I actually did a vlogging video, and I did not delete that video. That video is deleted off the channel, but I still have that video footage, so I'll repost that on a flashback or a throwback Thursday. But this sandstone, I still haven't figured out what I want to do with it, but I pulled that right from the lot, right where they were going to build that stadium. So it's just my little treasure from that moment, that nostalgia, man, that moment of like when I was out there and I go, man, all they had was a billboard sign like the Raiders are coming. That's all it said. And there was a chain link fence. I got through it. Next thing you know, a black car with security rolls up. You got to leave, and I said, okay, no problem. I'll leave. But I got that rock and took off running. You know what I mean? Got a piece of land right here from the stadium, man. And I still don't know what I'm going to do with it. I've already polished it. I've cleaned it really good, but yeah, I'm fired up, man. And I appreciate you, Keith, man. I appreciate you, man. And thank you for the love on LinkedIn as well, man. Just so you guys know, I get the podcast out on Spotify. I think iTunes might have put it out. I'm not sure yet. But LinkedIn also, I do post it on a LinkedIn profile. I got the Facebook profile and all that. So I'm starting to slowly get the social medias going a little bit more. Just get back on track, man, and getting up here, chopping it up, man. And, figuring out what's going to make this show, man, even better, man, so you guys can enjoy, man. And I totally appreciate it, man. And it was just a great year, last year, collabing with everybody. Watch, if you're still on there, man, it was a blessing to be on there with you guys. Hardcore Raider, if you're out there, man, much love. Everybody. Big Tuna was on his channel last year. Merce Fan Cave, shout out to you guys, man, for letting me participate in that draft show. Mojo, man, I hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well, man. It's just good to see everybody, man. And it's been, it's been one of those years where, where we want to get back together as people, man, and just, enjoy our football, man, enjoy our Sundays, man, and get fired up, man. You got it, man. I'm gonna tap out. You guys have a blessed day, man. And just so you guys know, this is off the Stone Brew. This is only a 4.7. It's only a 4.7, so it's pretty mellow. Got the mother-in-law coming over, some family members. We're gonna grill some burgers, man. We're gonna celebrate. And tomorrow I'm gonna pop up one fired up Raider fan. Let me tell you, I love you guys, man. Much love, Raider Nation for life, baby. Vegas Raiders, new era in full effect, man. You got it. You got it, Keith. You have a great day, man. We'll see you guys again. I'm Raider Dave. This is GrimeCast Media. I'm out. Peace.